Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Spartan Sports Report here on TV3. And Sam and I are very happy to have with us a special guest, as usual, on the program. And Sam, we have Scott Gray with us.
Scott Gray, varsity assistant for the Lady Spartans. And we had him on earlier, and we know that he can talk.
Well, Scott, that's not very nice to say.
No, I mean that in a complimentary way.
Well, hopefully what I tell you is informative and not just a bunch of garbage. So.
Right, you have something to say.
Absolutely.
That's important.
Absolutely.
That's the reason we invite you back.
Well, I appreciate being back. I've been looking forward to coming back, so glad to be here.
The Lady Spartans are doing great. End of the season, about to go into tournament. And I know everybody has hopes that they go a long way.
Yeah, and we are absolutely no different. It's been a pretty good season for us. At least a good first year. Ended the regular season with 13 wins. JV ended with 14 wins, so we're super excited about where the program's at, and just hope to continue to improve and maybe make a little tournament run here, a little tournament magic.
It's coming up shortly, Friday night.
Yes.
6 o'clock. And the Lady Spartans will play what game? What team?
Well, we'll either have South Dearborn or Batesville, depending on who wins tomorrow night's game. They play, I believe, at 6 o'clock, maybe 7 o'clock tomorrow night. So we're going to see obviously see our opponent and find out, who's going to win that game, and then prepare for them for the rest of the week and be ready to go on Friday.
They don't play until Friday night in the semifinals, actually, the sectional, because they drew a bye.
Yeah, it's always nice to get the bye. I never complain about a bye. Anytime we can get the girls, off their feet to give them a rest and play one less game, and also have a chance to scout your opponent live, is pretty important. So we'll be able to do that Tuesday and prepare, like I said, prepare for 2 or 3 more days and be ready to go.
Now, you played your last game against East Central Thursday, and there's quite a layoff as far as competition is concerned. So how do they keep the girls sharp?
Basically, we took Friday off to give them a rest because East Central was a very physical game. They are super long and athletic, and it was just very physical. And then, like I said, gave them Friday off, came back in Saturday morning, and then obviously Sunday off, and then we'll practice 4 days this week to keep them as fresh as we can, but also keep them ready.
Yes.
And then go into Lawrenceburg on Friday at 6 o'clock and play one of those 2 teams.
Sam, you watched the Lady Spartans in action all week.
Have all season long.
And tell us about them.
Well, they've been a lot of fun to watch, and they go after it. And
a real turnaround from past seasons.
Yeah, and but what I consider a very young team. They got 4 seniors. One of them starts, and one of them's kind of the first girl off the bench, and the other 2 are there in reserve and do a nice job. But it is a turnaround, and with a very young team, play a lot of sophomores, and not very tall team, but they're not afraid to get in and mix it up. So they have been a lot of fun to watch, and hopefully we'll get to watch them a lot more here in the postseason. My question is, will they go down tomorrow night with you, with the coaches, to watch whoever their opponent may be?
Yeah, the plan is to take the girls down tomorrow night, let them watch that game. I'm not sure if we're taking them out to dinner yet after that or not. I didn't confirm that with the coach, but we will take a couple minibuses down and watch Batesville, South Dearborn play. I'm not sure we're going to go back Wednesday. We're trying to get away from going down three times in 1 week.
Long haul.
It is a long haul, and the less time they're on the bus, the better. But I think it's imperative that we go down Tuesday and watch and give those teams their respect, and also have a chance to scout who we're going to see on Friday night. So I think we'll make one trip. Now the coaches may make another trip on Wednesday. Just to look at the other 4 teams in the tournament to see if they're doing anything different. But right now, just Tuesday, and then turn around and go back Friday.
And it's basically minus East Central. It's the EIAC Conference Championship.
It is, and I was actually looking again today. I think there's 5 teams in that tournament with over 13 wins, and that, to me, that is in 5 of your 7 opponents in that sectional have 13 or 14 wins. That's a pretty good sectional. So whoever comes out of there is going to have to play well. You're going to have a little bit of luck behind you. But looking forward to the challenge. We've had some decent success. Finished middle of the pack in the conference and had a nice big win against Franklin County. Played Batesville and Lawrenceburg really close. So I'm looking forward to the challenge, but I think these girls are playing well going into the tournament, playing with a lot of confidence.
Sure. Back, one of the two teams we'll face, or one of them will be either South Dearborn or Batesville. We got a win at South Dearborn down at their place, doubleheader. Your girls came out and played first, which be kind of like same thing on Friday night. It's something that they have experience playing the early game, but Batesville defeated us at their place, but I have to think we're playing better basketball now than we did then.
I think we are. I watched quite a bit of that game film, and not making any excuses. That was our first noon game on a Saturday on the road. I know we had a couple kids that were sick that day that did not play, up to par. But I do think we're playing well right now. I know against South Dearborn we didn't have Addie Jones that game, and we beat them by 10, so we still played well down there. But we also played, like you said, at that 6 o'clock environment. I've been trying to, I've been in enough sectionals that I've got a little bit of experience, and I've been trying to tell the girls, Friday night when you come out at halftime, that gym will probably be packed. The Greensburg fans, the Lawrenceburg fans, whoever else is there, they're going to be, they're going to be filling in the gym. So what may start out as a small crowd may be quite large by the time third quarter gets here. So I've been trying to prepare them mentally for that. I'm not sure how much game experience all these girls have. Obviously, Haley has quite a bit, and I know Addie played a lot last year as a freshman. Maybe Anaya a little bit, but other than that, we don't have a whole lot of that experience.
McKenna's had some.
Yep. She's probably had at least a year of it.
And is a strong girl.
She is. She's been absolutely fantastic coming off the bench for us this year. Her last 2 or 3 games, her rebound totals have been fantastic. Her defense. And here's one thing I know about McKenna, because I coached McKenna when she was younger in softball, and she was very detail-oriented. Whatever you tell her in scouting report, she's locked in on it. She knows what's coming. She always does a nice job defensively for us. And this year she's made, a couple moves with back to the basket and had a couple nice finishes. And so we're looking for good things out of her this week as well.
It's just, I think it's a fairly balanced team. Not very big, not very tall, but you got Anaya who can jump out of the gym and is quick. Serenity can light it up from outside, but she's not afraid to go in and rebound against the 6-footers, and she gets a lot of steals.
Yeah, her and Anaya, I think they both are really close and tied for steals. Both of them rebound well as small guards, which is an incredible feat, because Serenity doesn't necessarily jump like Anaya, but she's always getting a hand on it in there. And then Anaya, when she puts her mind to it, she can go get you 8-9 rebounds a game. She plays like a 6-footer, and she's not near that tall. But, yeah, both of them do a great job at that.
And Haley just, I like how, she's always had that inside game, but she's stepping out and taking that 3. And same way with JC. JC's strong defensively, but she can pop that 3 as well.
Yeah, one thing we worked on early on, when Shane and I got there, we basically said we want to spread the floor. We want to play a little bit of 5 out. And to do that, you've got to have 5 girls on the floor most of the time that can shoot the 3 or be able to drive the ball really well. So we started working with Haley and JC on their 3-point shots. Both of them have improved a ton this year doing that. Both of them have had success doing that. And most 6-footers that guard Haley don't want to come out on the floor and guard her because she does have the ability, being a left-handed dribbler, to attack them and get in the paint. She's been able to do that. So hopefully that will play to our advantage come Friday night, and we can get some more looks that way, because Batesville, especially if we play Batesville, because they're pretty tall. So. And
the other kid that I hadn't mentioned was Addie. She's just steady.
Yeah.
Steady, good at handling the basketball, and she can she can knock it down as well.
Addie is, and I've told her this a million times. She's one of the premier ball handlers I've ever coached. She handles the ball. She can pass the ball. She can shoot from all three levels, and she's a consistent shooter at all three levels. Maybe one of the things that we messed up on at Batesville is we kind of played her down on the baseline instead of letting her handle the ball out top as much, hoping to get her some looks against their pressure defense. Didn't work out the way we wanted it. I can assure you she's probably going to be back up top handling the ball on Friday night if we face Batesville for sure. And that's one move we have made. We've had it in her hands more. We've taken it out of some other people's hands and just said, Addie, you bring the ball up the floor. We're going to slow down a little bit. And we've still been able to hit, 45, 50 points almost every game, except the East Central game, of course. But those are a couple of adjustments we've made, and we've been better because of it.
Is pressure good or bad when it comes to playing?
I personally like it. It doesn't bother me. But like I said, I've coached in a lot of those games, softball, basketball. Shayna has played in those kind of games, so I don't think it bothers her a bit.
Okay.
The girls, we have tried to make practices somewhat chaotic.
Okay.
So that way, when you get to that game setting, nothing bothers them. There are times when we've had our JV team put 7, 8 girls on the floor and play against the varsity, just to put them in situations where maybe they feel uncomfortable. Maybe they have to make that extra pass fake just to try to prepare them for what's going to come. And I think we've handled that stuff pretty well. I know early in the season I talked about like our toughness was not where it needed to be. We were extremely weak physically, weak mentally, and we've really made changes in that area where our girls are playing much more physical, getting down on the floor after loose balls. Things don't bother them the way they used to. Okay. We're probably more connected right now as a team than we've been all season, and right now is the time that you want that.
That's right. You're peaking, right?
Yeah, you, at this time you should be peaking. If you're not, you're going home early.
That's right. What's the major job of an assistant coach?
To do whatever the head coach tells me.
Well,
I am
just like at home.
Yeah, nothing different. My job basically is I try to handle a lot of energy stuff. I do quite a bit of scouting. Try to put together some game plans, and then get together with Shayna and say, okay, here's what I see, and then she'll tell me, well, here's what I see, and then we'll try to form a game plan from that. We've had some success doing that, I think. But I just basically, whatever she wants to do, I'm studying and figuring out, okay, how do we do that better? And it's been very successful. Like I said, she has a ton of experience as far as playing the game. I had a ton of experience coaching the game, and I think when we put those two things together, we found a little bit of magic this year where we've been able to do some really good things for the program. And here's the thing: when you take her game experience, what she's done on the court, and you take some of my coaching experience, and the girls start believing in that and see, hey, these guys know what they're talking about a little bit, then they start believing it. Then that confidence is just all over them, and then they just go out and play. And we can really sit back and, we can coach them a little bit when they come off the court and say, hey, this is where you should have done this. This is what it should look like. And then it turns into really a pretty good product.
Yes.
It's nice. You understand, having been in the area and coached in the area, you understand the fans here. You understand Spartan Bowl tradition. Shayna lived it.
Yes, absolutely.
Back in the glory days of Lady Spartan basketball when we were ranked most of the time.
Yes.
She went on to be an Indiana All-Star, went on and played Division I basketball. I mean, my personal opinion, to have that experience and have your experience and mold that, as well as the other coaches at the end of the bench down there that understand what's expected here. I think we've got a pretty good combination.
I believe that as well. I knew being over at Union County what it meant to be at Connorsville, and then I've worked here for about 13 years, so I really understood kind of what they were going through when they were struggling. When I came over, I thought, well, I think I can help fix this. And then when I met Shayna, she is just like, I mean, she's awesome to work with. Her experience, the things she does, that's the one thing I would say about her over anything else. The things she does and can relate to the girls, like the things she can do for them, she can still show them how to do it.
Yeah.
I've watched her in practice shoot and never miss a shot. I mean, it's incredible. Her knowledge of the game, the things she brought from like when she played college ball on certain sets that we can run, or certain things that we can do against defensively against other teams, has been fantastic. And then what I can add, I'm probably more of a passion guy, a energy guy, even more than I am an X and O guy. Even though I think I could probably come up with some, really good game plans and all that. But I love to bring the energy. I mean, you sit close enough to me. You know what I'm talking about.
I can hear you through my headset.
I'm sure you can. I'm loud, and I know early on the girls were like, man, we don't know how to take this guy. But I think they found out once I was doing it all for them, it was all about them, then I think they bought in. And, we're doing everything we can to make it easy for them. And and this is probably going to air, tonight or tomorrow?
Tonight and all week. Yeah.
Okay, so I will go ahead and say this because it was all Shayna, but like tonight, she's bringing in a couple girls from the Indiana Fever to talk to our girls tonight.
That's great.
And it's things like that she does that lets me know and lets the kids know, hey, this coach is all about us. She wants us to be good. She wants us to have every advantage that we can possibly get. And I'm excited to see those girls tonight when they see these WNBA players.
Right.
That it's just an incredible thing. And I don't know how many coaches go out of their way to do those things. I mean, I know I would have never had the connections to do that at Union County, but she has them here, and that tells me we've got the right coach at the right time, and we're going to have. I think we're going to have some good years in front of us. I really do.
It's fun watching her before the game when they're out there warming up, and she's out on the floor with them and doing the drills. And
the funny thing about that is this shows me how much they love her. Is they requested that. That's not something she said, hey, I'm going to come out and do this.
Yes.
That was them saying, Coach, we want you to come out and do this with us. Now, you talk about being connected. You're talking about somebody that understands, and the kids are starting to get it. And that's what I said. I think we're probably more connected right now. And you guys know, coaching girls basketball, you have issues at times.
It's different.
It is. There are drama things that go on. They're like sisters fighting. That stuff happens. But the fact that at sectional time that we've gotten through all that and they are locked into what needs to happen. And I'll give you a perfect example. I had one girl today over the weekend that sent me like 15 clips of Batesville on saying, Coach, we can do this and we can do this. That's being locked in.
Yes.
That's understanding. Exactly. That's understanding, hey, it's tournament time. We got to get our stuff together and make sure we're prepared. So, yeah, I'm excited, if you couldn't tell.
How much input does an assistant coach have when it comes to timeouts?
Shayna probably gives me more than I should have. She is. Okay. I've been an assistant coach before, and then I was a head coach for a long time. But she allows me to have as much input as I want to have. Now, I try not to talk over her, obviously, because she's the head coach. But she has been so awesome in letting me handle some of the scouting report stuff, letting me draw up a play if I say, hey, I think this will work in this situation.
Okay.
She's been so good about that. Probably better than I would be if I was the head coach. So I know from a personal standpoint, I'm very appreciative of what she's allowed me to do. It lets me feel like, hey, I'm really involved. And like I said, the two of us together coaching, I think, has been just a good thing for Connersville girls basketball. I will tell you, I had a couple guys from Franklin County that I know well that called me the day I took the job and said, you and Shayna will be awesome together. I didn't know why, because I'd never really met her other than the one interview, but we've kind of hit it off, and we just kind of play off each other, and it's been good so far. So we'll see. See how it goes.
Important week coming up.
Yeah. This is
say the least.
This is what it's all about. I mean, you play all year, you prepare all year for these moments, and you can't think anything but positive thoughts. And like I said, that sectional is extremely tough. 5 teams with 13 wins or more, but
and
we're one of those teams.
other capable that aren't.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, you look
like
at
Rushville's down, but
yes.
you never can discount them. And
no, when you look at Rushville's history alone, and it's like you got to respect them, and you can't.
Well, I think they've won more sectionals than anybody in the
I
state.
guarantee it. Yeah. I guarantee it. You cannot overlook anybody, and we won't. We won't overlook anybody. I promise you.
Spartan girls, the Lady Spartans doing well, but the boy Spartans aren't doing so well.
Well, kind of 1 step forward and 2 steps back, it seems. But they still have time to turn things around. We were looking before we started taping this show that they only have 1 loss in the conference with 3 games to go.
Yes.
If they win that out, then they're going to own a share of the conference title. So that's something that's been a big emphasis in the past, and we had several in a row of either shared or outright conference titles. So
it's a tough weekend to Mount Vernon and
very
Jennings
good teams.
County.
Very good teams, and it doesn't get any easier this week when Columbus North comes on Thursday night. So we play a tough schedule, and that suited us and has suited us, and I'm not in favor of letting off the gas too much on that. I know there's going to be some changes, but as far as the schedule, contracts run out. But my thinking is you want to be the best, you got to play the best. So we'll see what happens.
You learn by losing, Scott?
Oh, you can. I mean, nobody likes to lose. But I'll say this and keep it really short with this. I would trust Coach McCullough. Mm-hmm. I've talked to him enough, and I've seen him coach. I believe he is the right guy at this time in Connersville basketball history. This is the guy you probably want. You got kind of a young team. You got some guys with some inexperience on the varsity level, but I would trust him to get the job done.
Well, that's good.
628 wins and
that
70% winning.
That record does not lie. I mean, he is who he is, and given enough time, I think Connersville will be right back on top again.
I think he'll be a Hall of Fame coach.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Fans should be patient.
Yeah, and that's tough. I mean, that's really hard to do.
Yes.
Fans want instant gratification. You know, they want either their kid to score 20 or, you know, win every basketball game, and that's extremely tough to do. But yeah, just hang in there because better days are coming. And I'll be honest with you, if Connersville boys can win at the clip that they've won, and then they have a bad year or two, and then go on another 10 years where they're outstanding, I mean that's not a lot to gripe about, I don't think, because it's a tough job. It's a tough job.
Here's the schedule for this week for CHS Sports. On Monday, the freshman basketball team will be at Richmond for a game at 6 o'clock. A girls' middle school home with East Central at 5:30. Middle school boys' white basketball at Talawanda at 5:30. Gymnastics is home with Morristown at 6:30, and the gymnastics team doing well. They're undefeated. I believe.
Wow.
Joanne continues to.
She does a fabulous job.
Yes, she does.
On Tuesday, co-ed swimming will be home with Muncie Burris at 6 o'clock. Wednesday, the middle school girls basketball will be at Richmond at 6, and gymnastics will be at Columbus East at 6:30. On Thursday, Spartan basketball, freshman, JV, and varsity home with Columbus North at 6 and 7:30. On Friday, Lady Spartans sectional basketball at Lawrenceburg at 6. On Saturday, Spartan basketball at New Palestine at 6 o'clock and 7:30. Freshman basketball will be at Oldenburg at 10:30 Saturday morning, and the wrestling regional is underway at 9 o'clock. So we'll see how all that works out. So it's been a busy week for Spartan sports. And area boys records: Cambridge City is 4-8, Centerville is 9-8, Union County 7-9. The Spartans are 4-14. Rushville is 3-13. Richmond is 18-1. Franklin County is 6-11. So some teams are winning, Scott, that maybe shouldn't have and had some bad seasons, but they've turned it around.
Yeah, and there's still time in the boys' season. I mean, there's a month, at least a month left in that season.
Yes, we're entering our final month. They're always running a month behind the girls.
Absolutely, and and the thing I would say about that, we talked about playing well at the right time. Well, same thing for the boys. I mean, even though the boys have not, win-wise are not where they want to be, it would be very simple to win 5 or 6 games going into your sectional and feel like, hey, we're on a roll. Because it's really about playing well at the right time.
Right.
And that could be because injury, something hasn't meshed, brand new coach, whatever those things are. But if you feel like, hey, at the end of the season, we've won 3, 4, 5 in a row, things are going well, and it's all about kids' confidence. If kids have confidence, they can move mountains.
Takes you a long way.
They can do great things, and you can make a real tournament run. And if you go in and win a sectional after being maybe 8-16 or something like that, funny thing is nobody will remember that you're 8-16. They will remember that you're a sectional champ. So that's kind of what it's all about.
It's the old cliche of throwing the records out the window. We radio guys always say that.
Well, they say that for a reason. You got to throw those records out, and it's a brand new season. Everybody's 0-0, and you go in and again, I say that because I've been in that situation. I know what that feels like, and if you can get kids confident, they will make a coach look really good.
TV30 was at Reese's Spartan games, and here are some of the highlights from those ball games.
Got last few games, they found a Spartan warrior, and it was good to see the team surrounding him. Jennings County the other night, and it's my understanding that was the last game on the contract with Jennings County. It was very interesting that for the several years that they came here. It wasn't a home and home. They wanted to come to Connersville and play, but I guess they've had enough of that and not going to come back for another year. But always good competition, and Spartans just went up against good teams, and they're banked one in. The bank was open on Saturday night.
They play an extremely tough schedule. Extremely tough schedule.
Yes, they do. And when we were winning, when we had, we graduated 7 guys, and they were a big part of that. And Coach Brown at the time wanted to play these guys.
Right.
And at the time we were going back. Some years would be 4A, sometimes would be 3A, and we wanted some of those Indianapolis schools on the schedule because that's who we would see in a regional or a semi-state. So it made sense to play teams like Lawrence North and Noblesville and those. So there's the final, 73-47. Another tough loss for the Spartans, but Coach Mack will have them ready on Thursday night, and it's been a long time, friend, since we've had Columbus North. More than 30 years, I think, since we've had
They were South Central Conference a long time ago.
And if you remember, we would open on Wednesday night with Union County, Liberty or Union County, and then on Friday night, first conference game with Columbus or Columbus North. I'm old enough to remember when it was just Columbus.
Right, there was no Columbus East at that time.
Right.
It was Columbus North, and they were quite a powerhouse.
Coach Stearman, he's a Hall of Fame coach.
Did you know Bill Stearman?
No, I did not.
Yes,
I did not. That might be before my time.
Well, he did
he's just a
wonders
young
at
man.
Columbus.
Yeah, he did. Went on, I forget, he went on, coached other schools as well. But,
Yes. Quite a record.
Yes.
Quite a record. Well, Scott, thanks a lot for talking to us about lady basketball and the Lady Spartans, and nothing but good we hope happens this coming weekend.
Well, that's definitely what we're hoping and praying for. Like I said, we'll be preparing all week, get them ready, and hopefully by Friday evening, those girls will be ready to go.
I know they'll play hard.
No doubt, they have been playing much better of late. They have bought into playing hard, like I said earlier, diving on the floor and going and rebounding and doing the things that are, good with winning basketball.
Yes.
That go along with winning basketball. So hopefully they will continue to do those things. I'm sure they will.
Thanks, Scott, and for joining us, and
Thank
keep
you.
the girls running along, and who knows what may happen in weeks to come.
Absolutely. Like I said, hopefully all good things, and maybe we'll do a sectional championship show. How about that?
That'd be great.
We can handle that. Thanks, everybody, for watching tonight here on this edition of the Spartan Sports Report. We appreciate you watching, and have a nice evening.